Hi animators, welcome to video 3, character animation. We're going to continue drawing. Okay, so the next layer that we are going to create is our hair. And now everything in our body, when we're creating our character, we have to think about what exists in the front or the back of our character. My character's facing a little bit forward here, but this arm would be kind of my back arm, and this would be my front arm. This hair is behind the back of the head. This hair is on top, right? So there's ways that I'm gonna kind of organize things. My neck would go behind my head and behind my sweater, right? So those kinds of things will change what order our layers are on and how when we decide to draw them. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to go and create a new layer, and I'm going to call this main hair. I'll just call it hair. I'm going to do it like this. So main hair first. And then what I'd like to do is I'd like to select all of my front hair that I feel like would not move essentially. And if my head lining is in the way, I can just make it an outline here by clicking here so I can really see what I'm working with. So I'm going to just make sure that's on outline. Also on your head, if right now you really wanted to, go ahead and fill it because you want to be able to see it, right? Obviously, I wouldn't fill it with that. When you set that to outline, it will also remove the fill. So if you want to go ahead and fill your color now, that is totally fine. It wouldn't be a big deal, but we will do ours later together. So if you don't want to do that right now, that's totally fine. Okay, so let's go to our hair. And then I am going to go ahead and follow this line. I actually wish I made my line a little straighter here, and this is my hairline. I'm going to come into my head here, and I'm actually just going to kind of move this line back, actually. Oops. It's got a bunch of points in it. Let me get rid of some of these points. Make this a little bit more simple. Boom, boom. All right, just make that a little bit straighter here because my hair is going to go on top and I don't want my head and my hairline competing. So it just makes it a little bit easier because you're not going to even see that. Okay, so let me go to my hair layer. I'm going to put this on the outline here so I don't have to see that. And I am going to work with, I think, I'm going to continue in my black. I'm going to continue with the pen tool because that's what I like to draw with. And I'm going to go to my properties and set it back to 6. And I'm going to come in here and start outlining I want this to be a bit jagged top here. You work with whatever way you're comfortable. Again, the more points that are on your path, the less smooth it's going to be. And then I want to make sure my hair is in front of my face here. Let's go back here. And I'm actually going to draw this line here. And a little bit. There we go. There we go. There we go. And this is kind of behind the ear, so I'm gonna come up to here and mm, actually gonna bring it down a little bit beyond the ear. Oops. Because the face, the head, oops, make sure we still have that, is actually on top. Or the hair will be, I'm sorry, the hair will be on top. So I actually want to do that opposite. Oops. Let's redo. What do we do? What's the point anyway? Looking a little bit crazy. Okay. And the ear is actually gonna be, the hair's on top. So let's, the lines should, they're a lot thicker than this outline. I just want to be conscious. All right. Should be my outline. And I'm going to do a little finessing. So let me get the selection tool. This looks a little sharp there. And this line right here, I'm going to get rid of eventually. I'm just keeping it in there. Actually, I don't like how thick that is. So I'm gonna come over here. Let's do this at 4. And this line I'll eventually erase, but I want to make sure it's there. So actually, I'll erase it now and we can fill it in later. Let me see if this fills. Should fill. Yep. Okay. Let me go in here. Just gonna cut that out. And I don't want that coming in. I'm actually going to bring down that line, or I have, I'm kind of like, I'm not liking how thick that is. So, oops. Make sure you lock your other layers so that for whatever reason it doesn't accidentally, just gonna kind of adjusting some of these lines until I like it. Let's see, 4 here, and see, that's making that quite a bit smaller. So it's kind of changing where it's tapering based on me moving it. All right, so let me actually, I'm gonna fill with black. Actually, maybe I'll get a brown. Okay, let's do pink. Go with like a chocolate. We're gonna be doing a lot of work in here. Let me make sure. Oh, need to take my pencil tool and draw a line there. So it fills. And then I can come back in with my selection tool and delete that. I can also kind of clean up, oops. Clean up some of these lines. And I'll leave that for now. Fix that later. And then I'm going to turn back on my face. And I'm going to fill my face. And it looks a little strange right now, but once we put the rest of the hair in, it will look a little bit more normal. I like to go a little more pink for skin tone. Let's see, it's going to be an ugly color. We'll check it out. Let me make sure I'm on my head layer. Oop, nope, unlock it. Oof, way too dark. Hold on. Try that. Still very dark. Anyway, I'll bring down the saturation. Let's see. Saturation. Come in here. It's looking a little bit better. So I have my top hair. Okay. And then actually just gonna leave this fill because I don't mind that color. I might change that brown later. Lock this. I'm gonna turn that back on to outline. Turn this on to outline here. And okay, so now I'm gonna do the back of my hair. And it's pretty easy because it sits behind the head. And so now I can come back in and do the same thing. Grab my pen tool. Oops. Let me do back hair. And I'm actually gonna bring it below the head. And actually, I'm gonna lock the other two and I'm gonna turn these on so you can actually see it. And so I can actually start way up here. And you know what? I'm gonna leave this out because I want a little bit of movement there. So I'm gonna do it in 4 parts. So I'm gonna come here and just follow along. And if you're kind of just following along and this is taking a bit, you are welcome to be working on yours. And I'll try to do this really fast and I'll fix it when I'm off camera. And I'm actually going to go beyond the neck and beyond the head here because it is behind. So I don't need to be that organized with it. And I'm going to change that stroke color. I'm going to paint my stroke black, not red. And I am going to then get my eyedropper tool, grab the brown, and then I'm going to go back to paint fill, paint that in. And then this one I'll leave out so that when it comes down to it, I can actually animate that a little bit, have that wave. I could even animate this. Oh, now I'm getting too intense about it. Okay. For the intensive purpose of the video, we are just going to move forward and I'm going to do this on the same layer over here. I'm going to go back to my pen tool, create a new one, make that a little softer. And you know what? Actually, I'm going to start here so I can animate those little guys. Because if you want them on a different layer so that when you're working, you can actually animate that layer independently. Oops, didn't realize my point was all the way up here. There we go. Let's see. And I'm gonna fill. Okay. And Okay, so now I'm gonna say, I'm gonna do it when it's facing me. So this side for me is the left and this side's the right. So I'm gonna say uh, left. Let's do hair first. I gotta get in practice of this. Hair left. And actually I'm gonna change this to hair back. So that way, mm, way all the hair when you look for it is together in your layer panel. So hair left, I guess I'll say hair strand left and left. Be very serious about creating your layers and making sure that they're, and I'm gonna lock the other ones to, boom, so I don't have the chance of actually, nope, doing on the wrong one and accidentally animating. And I'm gonna draw in this. And on my hair back, now that I have the fill already in there, oops, let me move that up a little so you can't see that attachment point. Now that I'm already here, and I have it filled, I can come in here and select the stroke up until, oops, select the stroke up until a point, and oops, as long as I don't go too far, I can remove that or add detail into it. But if it doesn't feel like it really, oops, see, now I've got it isolated. I can come in and kind of clean up that drawing. Doesn't look bad. And then I can come in here, right? Since this is drawn, let's go to hair main, unlock that. Oops. And I also, see, gotta lock the rest. Select. You can also have it right. So this area is where the hair is kind of making sure that hair isn't messing up my line. Do a little bit of cleanup once you're good. Okay. So got that. And then I'll do the same thing with the other side. And then I have all my layers labeled and I'm doing that. And we're not even working with any highlighting or shadows. But what I might want to do is like for my hair back, right? Let's just actually go to our hair main. Okay, you can see that I do have um, some shadow and some highlight. So I can obviously highlight this, but it might also be nice to come in here with some black, right? So if you're drawing, depending on your drawing style, and I'm gonna get my pencil tool and I'm just gonna draw in some strokes. And see, that's the one thing about filling is right now, if I have it on the outline layer, it's hard for me to see. So let me actually get it back here. And I could turn the opacity down so I'm kind of, so I can see my strokes while I'm drawing. So one thing about starting with the fill before you are quite ready. And actually, make sure that my stroke is, my stroke is black here. And then draw in some details. I can variate my line, right? And so I can create some movement. Oh, am I working on the hair made? Turn this back up. Make sure. Let me unclick. Oops, I painted my hair black. Let me get my color picker. And I'm only going to be doing, there we go. Oops, wrong color. Let's get this brown. There we go. So I can start to put in some sort of movement and momentum in there. I'm going to spend some more time on creating the line work though. And if you wanted, you could just easily kind of remove, also if you didn't want to work in 50% opacity, what I could also do is just move out um, the fill, and then I could, well, that's probably not the best way to do it either. So anyway, yeah, let's get the hair done. I got my, it's bothering me. I feel like I have a mullet. Let's get the hair done and then finish that part, and then I'll meet you back and talk about the next steps. Okay, thanks.